Boy, it's brazy, man. It's brazy. It's brazy. We'll have to see how that one there develops. If I'm completely honest with you, really, really and truly. But yeah, man, let's get back into this transfer stuff. Big up the 400 odd of you locked in. Can we get 400 likes? Make sure you're hitting the like button. If you haven't, unexpected high bills. So yeah, let's get into this transfer news. Sorry, people. I just care about you lot's replay value. I hear a lot of you say, oh, I can't always watch an hour, DG. Look in the description of videos. You can see 10 minutes, you can see 5, you can see an hour, you can see whatever. Before we carry on, one love for you lot's comments, one love for you lot's, the super chats, the members, the supporters, everyone, man. You lot make this community what it is, and it's a pleasure to be here day in, day out, man. Are you Dusan in disguise? Well, I'm not 6 foot plus. I'm not a white 6 foot plus left-footed Serbian, but if anyone is stupid enough to hire me as a stunt double for that, then why not? Really and truly, obviously, I don't know why, but if you need a bird's eye lookalike for birthday parties, I'm your guy. Just let me go on YouTube for an hour and put on a Dutch accent. But yeah, scrolling through, man. Let's get into all of this other malarkey, people. Now, Arsenal fans, there's not much to make of it, but obviously, shout out AFC stuff. As you can see here, or as the Athletic article we just read said, Arsenal owner Stan Kroenke and Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta in attendance to watch Kroenke's Colorado Avalanche beat Chicago Blackhawks 2-0. Big up Arteta for pretending he gives a shit just to get the signings in. But let's see what's going on here, people. There's not much, but he's there, in it. So hopefully this is to convince signings to be made shortly before we go off to Dubai. So that's that, really. The Daily Mail now has said Mikel Arteta racks up the air miles by flying to USA to meet Arsenal owner Stan Kroenke before the end of the January transfer window as they watch hockey together before team's Dubai camp. As you know, he's been pictured alongside Stan Kroenke. The pair were seen in Denver. It came after it was revealed that Arsenal would offer Arteta a new deal. Their meeting also took place 6 before the end of the window. Maybe they mean 6 days. The pair were seen standing together, as we just said. We know their meeting is just cut. The reason behind Mikel Arteta's trip to America has not been disclosed, but it seems likely that he would have met Kroenke to discuss the January transfer window. Arsenal are looking for a striker and midfielder to help them win their first game of the calendar year, and require Kroenke to part ways with large sums of cash to make it available. So my guess would be, if it doesn't work, Kroenke made money available. We aggressively tried for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and all these guys, and we didn't sign anyone. I'm telling you, if it don't work out, we're going to be sat here and we're going to be reading an article in The Athletic. I'm going to be reading it to you, look, where it's just an excuses piece, an apology piece, one where we attempt to save face and make man look like we tried. Once again, even if we tried our hardest, I don't care about that. You don't get points for trying. There's no trying. You need to get things done. Simple as that in all aspects. We tried to beat City. We never beat them. And I'm being a bit harsh. It was a good performance, but how good can it be if you don't win? This is the territory we need to move to. Arteta could have been in the States to discuss his contract extension at Arsenal, as club chiefs are said to be happy with his contribution so far. Arsenal's hierarchy are said to be happy with Arteta's progression since he replaced Emery 2 years ago and are eager to retain him. Despite finishing 8th in the Premier League in both his seasons in charge, Arsenal are confident they are taking major steps under Mikel Arteta. I do as well, but it's a results game business, and I feel there is pressure on Arteta, but I just don't think there's enough pressure I don't feel there's enough winning culture to help out the man and bring in players that we need from those above him. I don't feel personally there's that healthy amount of pressure for Arteta to get results or to stop doing things. Or you might have to reintegrate Aubameyang. You might not be able to rely on Xhaka to rebuild your team. You might have had to get a midfielder in and things. And likewise with Edu, you might have had to be a bit better. It's like Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, Marina, Tuchel, Czech, all of these guys know things go iffy and you're not doing things. You're going to feel a shadow behind you and certain things are happening. So I'm very wary of this, but he is building good points and doing things. No man is without faults. I do like what Arteta is doing, but like everyone, I've got concerns over Arteta. I've got concerns over Eddie. I've got concerns over certain players. I've got concerns over the owner, who the mentality has to go from top to bottom, because I'm going to be an Arsenal fan when Arteta's gone, when Saka's gone, when all these guys are gone. What I want for the owner. Nevertheless, the 39-year-old is said to be happy at Arsenal. And to be fair, I can't lie, regardless of what you've had to work with, let's be real, managers have been sacked for less at other clubs. Managers would be sacked at other clubs. And I do think Arsenal and Arteta realise that. I don't think Arteta, I think he's demanding, but I don't think he puts pressure that maybe these household name managers would do. Because, well, if we did get Luis Enrique or any of them names we were linked with, like Carlo, any of these names, you think they're going to put up with a week to go? You ain't got a striker, you ain't got a centre mid, and you're expecting bits. It's a relationship of convenience. There's not too much pressure on the board. Arteta gets to do his thing and gets to wet his feet as a manager. Let's be real, man. When leaving the States, Arteta will travel to Dubai to meet up with the squad, who will be using the 18-day gap between Premier League matches to conduct some warm weather training. The purpose of the camp in the Middle East is to help the Arsenal squad bond, rejuvenate, and recapture their best form. And I'm all on that. You lot need something in it, because again, we've turned our form around, gone through little blips, turned our form around, gone through little blips. Now this looks like it's collapsed. Reality is, you lot can't feel sorry for yourself. You feel sorry for yourself, the world don't care. It's like anything in life, you know. Unfortunately, you could lose every penny you've ever had to your name. You could lose every family member. You could kind of lose your mental health. And it's sad, and I have great sympathy, and it's an extreme example. But the world keeps spinning. The world, you're still gonna have, whether you feel sorry for yourself or get back on it, it's gonna keep going. You don't need to, bro. The world don't care. You ain't won a game since 2022. You're struggling. There's question marks. No one gives a shit. Fix up. You might want to be Premier League guys and Champions League. This is the territory you find yourselves in. So use your Dubai trip. Last time we went Dubai, you know, Guendouzi couldn't behave himself. So I wonder what player's going to have a bust up now. We're not in action until February the 10th, in which our midfield will probably look a lot better. But that's the first bit anyways. That's Mikel Arteta. To go over Vlahovic once again, and as I said, there's BA articles, people. Juventus in talks to sign Fiorentina striker, with Arsenal and Spurs offers not considered. Juventus in talks over satisfying Fiorentina's 58.8 price tag for Dusan Vlahovic. Strikers agents not considering offers from Arsenal and Tottenham. Fiorentina want to sell him this month. Juventus are willing to allocate more funds. So financial doping, which I swear they're being investigated for. But who cares? We spend when we want. Anyways, Juventus, as you can see, are in talks to sign Vlahovic, blah, blah, blah. They want to sell him. He's got 18 months left. Again, we've heard indirectly, remember when people tried to fight me and say, oh, DG, you're lying. We can get him because he can't agree anything with Juventus because it's illegal, brother. Half the moves you're going to see happen in the summer for all these clubs, indirectly, the framework of their agreements and their salaries and stuff is agreed. Juventus clearly had this agreement a long time ago. They clearly knew, okay, cool, your Fiorentina are in their feelings. They don't want to sell you to us, ideally. Playing a game of poker, hold firm, you know. The agent's done a blinder. He's turned off his phone or whatever towards Arsenal. Vlahovic has remained firm, not barking at the pressure to be sold to wherever or sign a new deal. Fiorentina want to maximize profit on this 21-year-old. It's a game of poker and they're losing it. Juventus and him have held firm. They've leveraged mainly Arsenal's interest because we've been the most aggressive, but you have heard Atletico and obviously Spurs. Ultimately, just like Locatelli, just like Xhaka's failed move, you've had your pants pulled down. Once again over there in Italy, and the journalists have done their job as well. It's an important valuation, over 70 million euros as a lump sum with no swap deals and no payment structures. I very much doubt Juventus are throwing you whatever you want up front and you're going to have to accept it. All our doors are open in this situation because we need to understand what the players and his agent really want to do. So again, we were willing to buy, they were willing to sell. The agents had different things on their mind. We received some important offers for him, offers that were very substantial, but we never got any feedback from his agents. On our side, there's always been great transparency. I refer to what Joe Barone said, all our doors are open. We're ready to sit down at the table and talk. We made various important offers for a contract extension, and we also had few offers to sell him in a strong way. I'm saying this because our club makes 75 million euros a year, and we can't afford to lose a valuable asset for free. They were all valid and satisfactory offers with payment methods that suited us. We couldn't get ahead with the deal because there's never been any contact with the player's agent. So it's a myth. So yeah, big up to Juventus. They're getting a quality player, but another one bites the dust. As you can see here, people, once again, this is just confirming that Arsenal and Tottenham are set to miss out. Juventus are reportedly edging nearer to signing in-demand striker, Fiorentina striker, that is Dusan Vlahovic. The two North London clubs look set to be left disappointed. Allegri side have managed to sign Bernardeschi and Chiesa from Fiorentina. I don't know how they're going to nice Fiorentina. Probably could give them a couple of the players. It's understood Conte wanted a striker to support Kane, and obviously we want a striker because on the best of days, when everyone's fit, everybody's meaty. Plus, we're relying on Nketiah, whose phone doesn't ring when it's serious games. And Lacazette, for as much as we overcompensate about the pressing, the link-up play, they're all good skills. Bread and butter for a striker is scoring. You know, if it was a centre-back, they could be as... I know the first thing man say about centre-backs is how good they are with their feet and they can overcompensate. But at some level, you've got to be able to defend. So, yeah, people, hit the like button if you haven't. There's that. Inside Arsenal's failed Dusan Vlahovic transfer, which saw Fiorentina break promise. Let's see, man. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know. That's seeing a random street. Pop-ups galore. In 2019, when American billionaire and Fiorentina owner Rocco Commisso ruled upon arrival in Fiorentina that Fiorentina won't make the same mistakes as with Roberto Biagio, I won't sell Chiesa even for 100 million. 15 months later, the fleet-footed, highly rated 22-year-old headed to the Turin. Again, that's Juventus's league. We bullied that. You give us who we want. It's a bit like Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich want anyone, they get anybody, really and truly. So it sounded good with the capping, but yeah, people. It is what it is in that regards. And it's another player who's gone. I mean, that's the broken promise. Vlahovic has been Fiorentina's light in the dark, a genuine superstar who sharpened his craft and made his name in Florence, a boy from Belgrade who became a man under the club's watchful eye. Pardon my language, I don't give a shit about this. Like, just tell us the facts. And this isn't nice. Obviously, there's spray painting and things like that. Your guards won't be able to save your life. Gypsy, you are finished. Where obviously that is disgusting language to use. That is very nasty. And again, football is very tribal. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The man's from Serbia. He didn't grow up in Italy. He didn't grow up a Fiorentina fan. He's got one life to live. At 21-year-old, it's great. But what if he was 31 with a damaged knee and he had other plans and he wanted to stay at Fiorentina, but they had to move man on? You've got to do what you've got to do in your career. They love you today, they hate you tomorrow. They hate you tomorrow and they love you. I see that in YouTube every day. Juventus, as we know, are understood to be making progress. We've heard all of that. Fiorentina are looking at Arthur Cabal. Things could have been so different. Arsenal were at the table and seemingly prepared to match Fiorentina's 58 valuation for the player who was their top January target. Positive club-to-club discussions, including a face-to-face meeting in London over a deal, took place, but there were significant stumbling blocks. Vlahovic's agents have not answered the phone even once to the Gunners. So then you have more for you lot then. Maybe you thought, okay, cool, we just have to, maybe we'll get a conversation. But if you've been chasing a man since October, if you've agreed a fee with a club, if you've done face-to-face, but you've never spoken with his advisors or anything, which you might have or you might not have, it doesn't make sense. You know, we've met with Arthur's agents, Vlahovic's agents, and Yuri Teleman's agents. At the end of the day, nothing's going on right now at the club. There's no midfielders, there's no strikers, and the ones that are about are meaty. So again, you don't get brownie points for that. They were simply not even entertaining the idea of joining Arsenal, even though Mikel Arteta's side was prepared to build and shape his project around the Serbian international. So we kept getting blue ticked and kept shouting him. We kept saying, I'm going to propose. I can make you special. He's not feeling you. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, he wants the other man. You know, doesn't matter. You lot allow it, man, and have other targets, really. But moving forward, some English clubs have made contact with Fiorentina, but there's no agreement, and there can't be if someone doesn't talk. In any case, we're open to selling. The English clubs want Vlahovic, but evidently he's got other ideas. We're ready to negotiate, but he and his agents won't. I mean, how many times have we got to be told that? Respectfully, we're told that now in January. People in the footballing world, not just Arsenal or Spurs, but anyone, must have been indirectly knowing his intentions. So you've only got yourself to blame, really. Yet it appears Vlahovic wanted Juventus all along, something he has communicated to Fiorentina in the past few days. He adores Serie A, has set his sights on this season's, I think, top goal scorer, and the idea of becoming a poster boy for the biggest club in Italy. So you want to be a big league bully? I hear it, man. You want to score goals in a league where Immobile is doing bits? I hear you. You know, we need that. Fiorentina are also pushing for a sell while his stock remains sky high, cautious of the fact Vlahovic is now within the final 18 months of his contract. You know, Edu was even willing to shelve plans for other signings in order to blow significant money on a blockbuster transfer. But now Arsenal have been forced back to the drawing board. I don't know if that even makes sense. Hit the like button, 500 of you locked in. They even felt they had a unique advantage on other suitors in the form of Lucas Torreira. There's also a very good, strong relationship between the clubs. We all know the Uruguayan was expected to be used in a deal to get him, and now apparently attention turns towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Alexander Isak, and Jonathan David apparently is also under discussion during a period when Arsenal's fresh recruitment drive has rightly received strong praise and recognition. This feels like a soul-destroying defeat for the Gunners, who have now resigned themselves to losing the two-horse race despite all of their efforts. Vlahovic to Juventus now seems a matter of when and not if. Exactly, and you've only got yourselves to blame, really. What was going on there? We'll get into that in a second. What's this? Again, more on this Vlahovic stuff. Juventus and Fiorentina will be in direct contact today for Vlahovic deal. Juventus are ready to submit an official bid in order to sign Vlahovic immediately. And obviously, that has a knock-on effect. That probably means Morata heads to Barcelona and returns to Spain. Again, Vlahovic's priority is Juventus, and he's unwilling to consider a move to Arsenal. He breaks up. He only wants Juventus. We are ready for anything. Let's scroll the way down to what's said. Time is running out as we get to the end of the window, as you know. Crucial in this sense is the player's will, who has indicated Juventus as his priority and does not seem willing to give in to the law of the Premier League, in particular Arsenal. As we know, he's contracted COVID and he's been left out. So yeah, he weren't able to consider anything. Dusan has chosen Juventus, with whom he already has an agreement of a rich big contract, almost 7 million per year, in which Arsenal were going to offer you more than that. And obviously, their backs are against the wall now, really. And for what in terms of progress, there's minor valuation gap between Fiorentina and Juventus for him. There is still a minor valuation gap between Fiorentina and Juventus. At the end of the day, Fiorentina played a game of poker and lost. So it's a case of dotting I's and crossing T's, and he will sign for them. So again, that's where maybe in the future, maybe one day Arsenal will be linked with him. But this is where that one there needs to be done. After today, that's it. Daily Dusan has ended. Really. And, it gives birth to other rumours. From one Serbian to another, again, it's similar to Arthur Melo and Odegaard situation. If Luka Jovic can't buy minutes at Madrid or at his club, Arsenal could seek a short-term loan for Real Madrid striker Luka Jovic if they cannot persuade Vlahovic to join them. I mean, completely different striker, but something's better than nothing. And on loan, that could be something. Get a loan option to buy, cover your races. Same sort of formula with Odegaard. Maybe he wants to play games, or it is what it is. But don't buy people you're not convinced on, really, because Arteta, let's have it right, is not convinced 100% on Lacazette, Aubameyang, nor Eddie. He probably wishes he could fuse them all together, but you can't unless you're, some bookie scientist. Vlahovic thing didn't work. They are now considering a last-ditch move for Vlahovic's Serbian international striker partner Jovic. Scrolling all the way down. I don't know why it keeps waffling about Fiorentina. We need to hear exactly that. We all know Isak is another option. Apparently, they've been told by Real Madrid that Jovic could become available on loan to help Arsenal through their short-term crisis. So, has he been offered to us? And I completely forgot about Ceballos. But yeah, we've obviously got Ceballos and Odegaard on loan at a previous time. Apparently, Jovic, who cost 50 million when he moved to Spain from Benfica, is believed to be eager to prove himself in England. So he's lived in Spain and Portugal and Germany. So yeah, I'm sure he's lived in Germany. So England, he might be able to do this thing. He's got just one goal and 15 appearances this season. So in terms of match fitness, match sharpness, I don't know if joining mid-season he's going to deliver the goods. But I'd rather, I'd rather give him an opportunity, than Eddie and Nketiah, really, because Eddie's going to keep it moving. He's got to be better than that. Lacazette, the thing that saves you is what you give us in terms of general play. To say I don't rely on Lacazette to score goals is an understatement. He's not a goal scorer, really. He's not. He's been a good player for us, but he hasn't been 52 million good. Any player that comes in must be able to take us to the next level. You say that, and then we bring in Willian and Cedric and all of that. But I hear that. I hear it. Big up Carl Hine as well, because he's actually completed a move to Reading on loan, by the way, folks. We wish the young G the best. Allegedly, and like clockwork, we're looking at Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as we've kind of spoken about already. Arsenal will move for Dominic Calvert-Lewin if they fail to sign Dusan Vlahovic. We all know Everton are in a poor run of form, so why would you want to let go of your good players? We all know there's English premium. We all know they're going to want to sign a replacement. We all know where the window is, when the window is closing. So yeah, it is what it is. The Gunners have kept tabs on Toffee star Dominic Calvert-Lewin for years and believe the 25-year-old's best years are still to come. They are, but you'll sign him and not cross the ball. Apparently, he's regarded as a key player by his club now, for now in the future. He's got 11 caps. So yeah, man, we've got 3 strikers. You don't get here by accident, innit? We've got 3 strikers linked with moves away. It is what it is. And speaking of strikers as well, folks, well, for what it's worth with Vlahovic, people, he's chosen Juventus since October. So the Serbian striker has rejected many bids in the last months. Arsenal offered 5 years plus an extra million, basically 8 million euros plus 2 million in bonuses. Newcastle offered 12. And obviously, Atletico, Dortmund, and Tottenham were all looking at him, and he's joined Juventus. So shout out to him, or joining us in Juventus. Going back, what's all of this? Apparently, Leno's been linked with a move away, which we know already. We all know Carl Heinz gone out gone as well. We all know that Leno wants to keep it moving. I mean, this is a bit of a shit article, ain't it? Really, it's not really said anything, so I'm not gonna waste time on that. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, well, the Athletic quashed this rumor in relation to Raul de Thomas, who's played for Spain and is the second top goal scorer in La Liga. I'm not gonna lie, I watch a bit of La Liga and I've watched Espanyol. I've seen him score, but he's never. When you watch football and players, and he's not one that you say and that, because he ain't grabbed my attention like that. So I'm not going to sit here and cap and say he's going to be the guy. He knows how to score. I hope with being a Spanish man in Mikel Arteta, he's watching the Spanish league, So he must know a thing or two about him and maybe how he can help us. He's got a 70 million release clause. Espanyol trying to stay in the league. He's rated at 35 million. So that could be something. But don't just sign people because we ain't got no one. On one hand, I understand it. We need bodies. But on the other hand, don't sign someone where one game we're playing them there and then here, then we're dropping and we're saying the same things. Get people that fit into the system, which, boy, time is running out, innit? And you look at Espanyol, they're 13th. They're trying to do their thing. It looks like they're assured of relegation. Do they want to let him go? Does Isak? Did they want to let Isak go where Sociedad is concerned? He's also been linked with Barcelona and now Real Madrid as well. So, boy, I don't know. Maybe he enjoys sunny Spain. So I don't know what's going on there. Apparently, how Arsenal's winter break to Dubai will work as Mikel Arteta plots bounce back during second half of the season. Arsenal players have been given a few days off before they begin training in Dubai on Thursday as the squad looks to recover and bounce back. I'm happy for the young players. I'd assume Amari Hutchinson, Charlie Patino, Mika Berev, all of these guys that we see on the bench get to travel, which is a good experience because not only do they get to travel with the first team and get to be, gelling a bit closer with the first team and things, they get to see what Arsenal's like on a global level. And reality is, for guys from humble beginnings, young men from inner city London or from humble beginnings to be going over the world. This is what football's about. But apparently the Gunners want to take a squad of around 30 to Dubai, which allegedly Aubameyang's not part. Maybe that's because they want him to pattern a transfer. Arsenal are finalising their squad and there could be some issues around under 18s players going as not all have had their second dose of the COVID vaccination. Aubameyang, who has not played for the club since last month, is not expected to travel. Edu and Director of Football Richard Garlick are planning to stay in the UK to work on possible transfers. If new players do sign, Arsenal will try and get them out to Dubai to join the squad. Arsenal are working hard to bring players in. You don't get brownie points for working hard. But at present, New England Revolution goalkeeper Matt Turner is the furthest along of any possible deals. His arrival would surely pave the way for Bird Leno to leave. Once back in England, Arsenal will look to play a behind closed doors friendly before they return to action against Wolves at Molineux on the 10th of February, folks. Arsenal have games to reschedule due to postponements and one match that could be confirmed for as soon after they return from Dubai is their home clash to Wolves. Arsenal were due to host Wolves on the 28th of December, but their visitors had to pull out due to COVID issues. Talks are underway about when that game could be played, but midweek during the week commencing February the 14th is being viewed as a possible option. So with that was a long one, people. Pause. Make sure you've hit the like button, and that's the transfer news all wrapped up. Let me see what you lot are saying because I've seen hella typing, but I thought let's just get that out the way, innit, man. This window quite literally determines whether we play in the Champions League next season. Kroenke and the board need to hurry up. Should have got Aouar and then all we would need was Bruno Guimaraes and a striker, but now we need 2 centre mids and a striker. All that simping for Vlahovic and he dips were a joke. Matt Turner is decent backup. Never seen him. All that matters is, like you said, has he got a steady pair of hands, and does he play out from the back? And I can't lie, with the way we've been recruiting goalies, I'm scared. I like whoever suggested Ramsdale, which we did. It's Arteta. Big him up. Whoever signed Rinison, even our goalkeeping coach. Whoever suggested Neto in the summer over Ramsdale, it scares me. If Arteta makes the decision over the goalie specifically, I've got a bit of faith. other people, I don't know, man. We love to sign goalies you can't catch and all them things there. It's a bit brazy. 200 likes, people. Appreciate that. Keep running up the like button if you haven't done up that one already. Don't forget as well, people, I'm going to be doing a watch along for the African Cup of Nations. That's going to be on Twitch though, live from 3:30, half an hour before the first game. So yeah, make sure you're all there for that one. And subscribe to Twitch fundamentally. So yeah, what are you lot saying? The Rams have zero fan base, unlike Arsenal, despite being based in the second most populous city in America. Makes no sense, this commitment. I don't know, man. You have to take that one up. If we could get Renato and David for the same price as Vlahovic or Isak's release clause, I'm not really convinced on Renato Sanchez, if I'm honest with you. He's a decent midfielder. I'd back him and he could do a lot better than what we've got, but I'm not convinced on it. Like, you know, I'd rather Bruno Guimaraes and things like that. Renato would slot in and do perfect, but yeah. What do you think about the decision that Dusan has made? It's fantastic move. You're signing for a big club in Juventus. You're going to Inter Milan won the league last year, but you're going to tie in with what they're doing long term. You got better wages. You clearly don't want to leave Italy yet. Doing your thing. Can't begrudge him. Man said Arteta meeting Kroenke hopefully for the sack. Wishful thinking, man, but a bit harsh. Guess the Vlahovic saga is over. Just finished school in it. Hope the DG Nation is doing well. Big up yourself, and it is, man. It's been a fantastic, making about 200 live streams with Vlahovic. I told you, look, this is how it ends. And, in fact, it ain't ended yet because it ends when you read the Athletic and it says, despite all what was said, Arsenal never thought they were close. They never aggressively tried to pursue and achieve bringing him to the club. There was never an official bid. That's what we're going to hide behind. Rafael Leao would be solid. You need leaders around the kids to learn from. True. Edu, I think, is worried about the Pepe situation, so laid back off Vlahovic. I mean, he says that, but whether they're big money signings or not, we've done reckless things. Bringing in Willian and then getting rid of him and cutting up his deal was reckless. Giving Mustafi or attempting to give Mustafi a new deal was reckless. Bringing in Cedric was reckless. Bringing in Marie for the finances to the games played and then probably what you're getting is reckless. It's not just the big money signings that are reckless. I hear him though. Arsenal need to stop publicly flirting with signing players so often and just make the moves in silent. Juventus swooped this man rapid, making Arsenal look a fool. Arsenal made themselves look like a fool. You're still going for a player that don't want to sign for you. Richard Garlick, in my opinion, is simply not good enough in the role he's been given. To be fair with you, since he's coming and we've had a decent summer, really. I hear you, but can I know your reasons why he might not be? But what I don't advocate, and I'm no one's defender, but we can't just be blaming man for no reason or making baseless claims. I don't know what he does or doesn't do, but he did get a lot of praise for how he helped us in the market last year. And to be fair with you, we had a better August or better transfer period than we did for a while. So let me know your reasons behind such. In my opinion, Arteta is not for the fan. He's a company man, one of them who loves their bosses unconditionally. I don't think he loves them unconditionally, but I think he realizes the position he has. Me and my cousin was at